What if I told you that the man who gets into her head the deepest is not the one who compliments her the most? It's the one who says just enough to create silence in her mind and leaves her filling in the blanks with desire, obsession, and imagination. This video is not about manipulation. It's about understanding the structure of female attention and emotional memory. If you've ever wanted to be the guy she dreams about after she closes her phone, the one she chases instead of avoids, then every second of this will be worth your time. Every man has experienced it, the frustration of giving everything, attention, compliments, effort, only to feel invisible or quickly forgotten. Meanwhile, some men walk into a room, say less, do less, and women are magnetically drawn to them. They leave a mark, they stay on her mind. She talks about them weeks later while ignoring the guy who sent her roses the night before. It's not looks, it's not money, it's not even status, it's psychology. And once you understand it, you can change your results forever. This video will teach you 5 psychological tricks Playboys use to get into any woman's mind. These aren't gimmicks. These are battle-tested mental tactics rooted in behavioral psychology, social dynamics, and emotional leverage. Designed to make you unforgettable. Support this channel if you care about your growth. When you like, comment, and share this message, you're not just helping me. You're helping men across the world who are tired of being overlooked and want to finally become men of value. Number 1. Strategic ambiguity. Why her confusion equals your leverage. Clarity creates comfort. Ambiguity creates obsession. The biggest mistake most men make with women is trying to be too clear, too fast. They want to define things. I like you. I want something real. I see a future. These statements sound noble, but in the early stages of attraction, they destroy the one thing women are biologically wired to respond to: emotional curiosity. When a woman doesn't fully understand where she stands with you, her emotional brain activates. She begins scanning for signs, playing back your words, checking for meaning in your pauses. She becomes engaged, not because you fed her answers, but because you left space for her to seek them out. That space is strategic ambiguity, and when used correctly, it gives you total control over the rhythm of emotional investment. Let's break down how to use it like a master. 1. Be emotionally centered, but verbally open-ended. When she asks how you feel, don't offer a declaration. Offer a reflection. Instead of saying, "I'm really into you," say, "You're interesting. I haven't figured you out yet." That statement does 2 things at once. First, it communicates emotional presence. You're paying attention. Second, it introduces mystery. You're still watching. It makes her think, makes her wonder, and in that wondering she invests. 2. Answer questions with direction, not detail. Women ask questions to measure your energy, not to gather data. Where do you see this going? What are you looking for? Why haven't you texted me today? Each one is an emotional probe. Most guys react. They give full explanations. They overshare. They validate fear. You do the opposite. Respond with calm, directional ambiguity. Say things like, "We'll see, I'm enjoying the process." "I go with energy, and yours is interesting." "I don't chase schedules, I chase connection." Each of those lines gives just enough. You didn't reject her, but you didn't anchor yourself either. You maintained openness while controlling the frame. 3. Use silence as a form of pressure. When she pulls back, don't chase. When she doesn't reply, don't fill the gap. When she's passive, go passive. Silence triggers her need to solve the unknown. Your silence becomes a mirror. It shows her how it feels to be uncertain. If she values you, she'll fill the silence. She'll reach. She'll call. That's how you test her investment without lifting a finger. And when you speak again, don't explain the silence. Let it float. Let it build tension. Say something like, "You good?" and move on. That simple, brief message suggests concern, but not neediness. It acknowledges distance, but doesn't demand closeness. It keeps you grounded while making her feel the gap. 4. Don't label what's still growing. Men rush to label everything. So what are we? Are we exclusive? Where's this going? When you rush to define the undefined, you strip away the most addictive part of attraction, unpredictability. Let her mind wander. Let her imagine. Let her bring the conversation to you. And when she does, you keep it vague, but reassuring. Tell her you value quality energy. Tell her you move on connection, not labels. That keeps the door open, but puts the burden of definition on her. 5. Be warm in person, elusive in text. Strategic ambiguity means changing your frequency. In person, be attentive, make her feel seen, present, powerful. But in text, pull back, be short, be slow, be hard to read. That shift in tone from real life to digital life forces her to replay moments, reread messages, second-guess your interest. And the more she thinks about you, the more she invests emotionally. This contrast is powerful. It creates a gap between how you make her feel and how much of you she has access to. That gap creates craving, and craving, when left unresolved, becomes obsession. 6. Interrupt patterns when she gets comfortable. Most guys become more predictable as the connection grows. They open up more, give more, express more. And suddenly, the woman who was once curious becomes passive. Why? Because the mystery is gone. You flip that. Just when she feels things are stable, pull back. Not out of insecurity, but as a pattern reset. Skip a text, delay a response, end a call early, change the vibe slightly. She'll feel it instantly. She'll ask questions. She'll lean in. And just like that, her energy surges again. Not because you gave more, but because you gave less strategically. 7. Let her define her role. Instead of saying, "I want a girlfriend," or "let's make this official," say, "I don't force titles. Energy defines the dynamic." That line alone does more than 1,000 affirmations. It lets her feel you are open, but not chasing. She now begins working for your consistency. She wants to become something to you. That shift, where she wants the label, is where strategic ambiguity wins completely. Strategic ambiguity is not game playing. It's psychological precision. It's knowing that attraction grows in the unknown, that women don't fall for what they understand. They fall for what makes them feel. You don't owe anyone your emotional blueprint up front. You don't have to explain your intentions to validate her feelings. When she's confused about your interest, but still drawn to your presence, you've reached peak control. And the best part? You didn't manipulate anything. You simply held your frame. You became the mystery she couldn't solve, the question she had to answer. And when she realizes she can't fully figure you out, she stops thinking about anyone else. That's how you become unforgettable. Number 2, reverse validation loop. Getting her to seek your approval instead. Validation is currency. Whoever seeks it has less power. Most men spend their entire dating lives handing out validation like cheap flyers on a sidewalk, hoping someone picks it up, looks at them, smiles, says thank you. And in doing so, they place themselves in the lowest position without realizing it. They become emotional beggars, constantly hoping for attention, acknowledgement, and reaction from women who never had to earn it. This chapter will change that permanently. Reversing the validation loop means turning the tables. Instead of you looking for signs that she likes you, she starts looking for signs that you like her. Instead of you overthinking your every move to gain her attention, she starts decoding your every action to confirm your approval. This shift transforms everything. Because once she begins to value your opinion more than you value hers, the game flips. She becomes the one chasing. And that's exactly where you want to be. Here's how to do it, step by step. 1. Starve her of the obvious. Validation loses power the moment it's expected. When you meet a beautiful woman, she knows you're attracted. Every guy before you has told her. Most have tried to earn her by praising her face, her body, her smile, her vibe. When you do the same, you blend into the noise. But when you hold back, even slightly, her system goes into alert. She notices your restraint. She starts questioning herself. Why hasn't he said anything? That silence pulls more attention than any compliment ever could. She begins to scan your behavior, analyze your tone, wonder what you're thinking. You've entered her mind, and you haven't said a word. 2. Break the compliment reflex. Stop giving automatic compliments. You don't need to praise her looks. She hears that from everyone. Praise something rare. Compliment her mindset, her discipline, her intuition, but only when earned. Even then, keep it measured. Instead of saying, "You're beautiful," say, "You're definitely different." Instead of, "I love your smile," say, "Your energy's strong." Most women don't have that. See what happens. The compliments are subtle, controlled, and they create emotional hooks because they suggest deeper insight. You're no longer reacting to her. You're evaluating her. 3. Use strategic delays. Women who are used to being chased expect immediate validation. The moment they send a text, post a story, or make a joke, they expect a response. Instead of reacting instantly, delay. Not out of spite, but from confidence. The longer she waits, the more she questions your thoughts. The more she questions, the more effort she applies. When you respond later, but with calm, composed energy, it frames you as a man who isn't easily moved. That delay makes her work harder to pull your attention. She stops waiting for compliments and starts trying to earn them. 4. Disqualify lightly, reward selectively. This is one of the strongest tools in the game. Instead of chasing her approval, you subtly create a filter that she must pass. Example, she says she likes guys who spoil her. Instead of laughing or flirting, respond with, "Yeah, I've dated girls like that. Usually doesn't last long." Then change the subject. No explanation. That micro-disqualification throws her off balance. It tells her you're not impressed by surface-level behavior. Then, later, when she says or does something genuine, reward her. A light smile. That was cool. The contrast between your disapproval and reward makes your validation rare. And she starts seeking it. 5. Be the standard, not the seeker. Most guys approach a woman like a job applicant. They try to present their best self and hope she chooses them. Reverse it. You're the one doing the choosing. You are the standard. You don't chase, you attract and evaluate. Your tone, your energy, your pace, all of it communicates that you are not easily swayed by beauty or status. You are the one who sets the emotional tone. When she picks up on that, she starts asking herself questions like, "Am I enough for him?" That question alone shifts the dynamic. 6. Never overshare emotions early. In the first few weeks of interacting with a woman, hold your emotional cards close. Not because you're afraid to express them, but because true emotional value is revealed over time, not dumped all at once. When you express too much too soon, it places you in the position of the one trying to impress. Instead, stay grounded. Listen more. Share less. Be kind, but unreadable. You'll feel her emotional radar activate as she works harder to unlock who you are. 7. Use silent affirmation. Over verbal praise. You can validate her through eye contact, presence, and subtle expressions, without ever using words. A well-timed pause before a smile, a nod when she opens up, a low, calm when she says something thoughtful. These silent affirmations are 10 times more powerful than overused phrases. They make her feel noticed without being worshipped. They confirm her without inflating her ego. And they keep her wanting more. Reversing the validation loop is not about being cold. It's about being calibrated. It's about choosing not to compete for attention, but rather creating internal scarcity. When a woman realizes that your validation is earned, not given, she treats it like treasure. She stops measuring your worth based on what you give. She starts measuring hers based on how much she can get from you. And once she begins chasing your approval, she becomes emotionally invested. That's the shift. That's when the game ends, because now she's playing your game. Number 3, call her bluff. How to expose flaky behavior and reset power. Flaky behavior isn't random. It's a test. It's a message. It's a moment where a woman is subconsciously trying to feel out your frame. She wants to know if you're solid, if you bend, if you can be moved emotionally by small shifts in her attention. The problem isn't that women flake. It's that most men reward it. Calling her bluff isn't about being rude. It's about refusing to tolerate passive disrespect. It's about drawing a quiet but unmovable line in the sand when she tests you by pulling away, delaying a response, canceling last minute, being inconsistent, or giving lukewarm effort. She's watching what you do next. Most guys lean in. They try harder. They apologize. They offer more attention to compensate for her disinterest. And at that exact moment, he's lost. High-level men don't chase inconsistencies. They correct them without saying a word. Here's how you do it. 1. Recognize a bluff for what it is. When she says, "I'm busy, let's reschedule," or gives a weak excuse for pulling away, don't overanalyze it. Don't try to rationalize or explain it away. Treat it for what it is, a subtle frame test. She wants to see if you'll lower your value just to stay on her radar. She wants to know if you'll beg. The moment you treat her flakiness like a problem you need to fix, you fail the test. A woman respects a man who moves forward with or without her, not one who pleads for her presence. 2. Never reconfirm plans after. She hesitates. Let's say you plan something and she says, "I'll let you know." That phrase alone is the start of her bluff. She's creating distance, not confirming investment. When a woman is truly interested, she confirms. She clears time. She shows enthusiasm. The moment she says, "maybe," or "we'll see," let her know calmly. Cool. If it works, it works. Then drop it. Don't chase. Don't circle back. She'll feel your silence like a thunderclap because she was expecting you to beg. Instead, you showed you don't wait on uncertainty. 3. Use non-reactivity to shift the power. If she delays texting you back for hours or ignores your message, most men panic. They double text, send memes, or follow up with, "Did you see my message?" Don't. Do nothing. Give her the space to notice that her behavior shifted the rhythm. And let her take responsibility. Silence is the greatest tool a man can use to regain control. When you stop reacting, you force her to face the imbalance. You show that you don't need her attention to validate your presence. That silence resets the frame. 4. Withdraw attention immediately and quietly. When she cancels last minute or ghosts for days, Don't call her out emotionally. That gives her power. Don't send emotional paragraphs. Don't insult her. Simply pull your energy back, fast and clean. Remove her from your schedule. Don't initiate anything. If she comes back, which most will, make her earn the reset. She doesn't get the old version of you just because she decides to return. She gets to start at 0, just like anyone else. 5. Mirror her energy. Exactly. The most powerful frame reset is not punishment, it's precision. If she texts dry, you text dry. If she pulls back, you pull back. If she delays, you delay. You don't escalate to win her. You match her energy to reflect it back to her. This forces her to realize what she's putting out. A woman cannot stay in control if you refuse to fight for it. When you mirror her energy without flinching, she starts to feel the consequences of her games and reconsiders her strategy. 6. Redefine the chase. Most men think chasing means persistence. Real chasing is sacrifice. If you're giving more of your time, energy, and emotion than she is, you're chasing. And she knows it. Calling her bluff means you never sacrifice your frame to maintain hers. You invite her into your world. But if she plays games, she disqualifies herself. You don't chase. You replace. You don't explain. You disappear. When you behave like a man who knows there's always another option, women see it and feel it. This behavior isn't about being mean or manipulative. It's about being a man who values his energy and demands clarity. It's about never allowing flakiness to grow into disrespect. It's about showing her, without saying a word, that you know your worth. Most importantly, when you call her bluff, you protect your time and amplify your value. Because while she's used to guys bending backward when she pulls away, your calm indifference hits differently. It creates contrast. It wakes her up. And suddenly she realizes this isn't just another guy she can control. This is a man who can walk away. This is a man who doesn't tolerate low effort. This is a man who's not afraid of her silence, because his is louder. Number 4. Legacy moves. How to leave her mentally replaying you for weeks. Legacy moves are not tricks. They are the strategic emotional imprints you leave on a woman's subconscious. They don't fade. They echo. Long after you've left the room, long after you've stopped texting, long after she's tried to replace you, she keeps remembering moments, words, feelings you created. This is not about doing more, it's about doing less, more intentionally. Most men are forgettable because they do what every other man does. They flood her with attention, overload her with compliments, show their hand too early, and emotionally bleed into her inbox until there's nothing left to uncover. That creates no legacy. That creates fatigue. Legacy is built through contrast, through high-control interactions, and through psychological anchoring. Here's how to do it. 1. Be unpredictable in a patterned way. She should never fully know your next move, but she should trust your rhythm. Think of a song with a mysterious verse and a hook that hits every time. Be that song. Show warmth, but remove it when she takes it for granted. Share moments, but disappear after a high. Most men overstay. Legacy men exit at emotional peaks. She remembers how she felt, not how long you were around. 2. Create unique moments. Take her out and do something no man has done, not because it's expensive, but because it's different. Most women remember moments, not things. Be the man who introduced her to a concept, a joke, a view, a restaurant, a mindset no other guy has. Make her feel like no one else gave her that emotion. She'll replay that memory endlessly. 3. Use voice and timing. Speak slower than you think you should. Use pauses. Let silence carry weight. Women are emotionally tuned into tone and timing, not just content. The man who speaks with calm certainty, who waits 2 seconds longer before responding, who looks her in the eye without blinking. He's the one she keeps imagining in her mind when alone. 4. Leave her with questions, not statements. When the interaction ends, don't say everything. Don't give closure. Don't confirm your feelings. Let her wonder. A legacy move is ending a perfect night with a soft kiss, a smile, and a quiet, "You'll think about this later," then walking away. You've created a psychological loop that won't close on its own. She has to replay it. 5th, detach after high connection. The biggest mistake is to get close and then cling. Women feel emotional momentum strongest after a connection, but only if it's not immediately followed by saturation. Give her a high, then pull back. No explanation, no panic, no overtexting. This makes the feeling grow in her absence. Now she's playing back the words you said, the way you looked at her, and imagining what happens next. That's how you build legacy. Not with constant effort, but with unforgettable impact. Number 5. Position yourself as the rare, unshakable man. A man who cannot be moved is a man who cannot be forgotten. Women are biologically wired to test. It's not evil, it's instinct. They test boundaries to find where the edge is. They test men to feel safety and strength. They test responses to measure depth. And most men fail those tests because they live emotionally reactive lives. One bad text, one missed call, one emotional shift. And they start spiraling. They start explaining, overcompensating, chasing. That's the death of masculine power. The second you react emotionally to her behavior, you put her in the lead. She stops following. She starts managing. And her attraction slowly dies. You want to be different? Be rare. Be unshakable. Rare men don't compete. They filter. Unshakable men don't chase. They choose. A rare, unshakable man doesn't flinch when she withdraws. He doesn't crumble when she tests. He doesn't over-explain when things feel uncertain. He stays rooted in who he is, what he values, and where he's going. And that presence alone triggers a deeper level of emotional attraction than words ever could. Here's how to embody that version of yourself every day. 1. Control your emotional output at all times. Every man feels emotion, but most men leak emotion. You must learn to feel deeply but express selectively. That means not reacting to her tone shifts, not panicking when the energy changes, not sending paragraphs to fix things. Your power is in your calm. When she acts unpredictable and you respond like a rock, she feels 2 things: safe and stimulated. Safe because she knows you're grounded. Stimulated because she can't move you. 2. Walk away like a king. Every man says he has standards, but very few enforce them. You must show that your self-respect is higher than your desire to be liked. If she disrespects you, walk. If she plays games, withdraw. If she tests too far, cut her off. Not loudly, not emotionally, just with quiet removal. That act alone makes more noise than any argument. She'll feel it. She'll remember it. And whether she admits it or not, she'll respect you more than any guy who begged for her back. 3. Become purpose-driven, not approval-driven. You need a mission bigger than her. A reason to wake up every day that has nothing to do with how she feels about you. Women are naturally drawn to men who are centered in purpose, not men who orbit around her mood. When your schedule, energy, and lifestyle are built around your vision, not her emotional storms, you become the anchor she gravitates toward. You're not her toy. You're her lighthouse. You guide the direction. You hold your space. 4. Respond to chaos with composure. When she throws a tantrum, tests your patience, acts inconsistent, your strength is not in your words, it's in your energy. The man who stays still when the storm hits creates a sense of power women crave but rarely experience. It tells her, I don't rise or fall based on you. I'm solid with or without your approval. That energy is rare, it's sacred, and it speaks louder than anything you can post, say, or prove. 5. Be immune to flattery and indifference. Whether she's giving you compliments or ignoring you completely, your energy stays the same. You don't chase highs. You don't beg for lows to end. You keep walking. You smile. You live your life. You maintain the same self-respect whether you're winning her heart or watching her walk away. That emotional steadiness is what makes a man untouchable. Not because he doesn't feel, but because he doesn't collapse. 6. Be the prize, live like the prize, walk like the prize. Every moment of your life should reflect the belief that you are the reward. That means dressing well, training hard, thinking clearly, leading calmly. You become the man who doesn't compete because he attracts. You don't need to fight for her affection. You simply let her experience you and decide if she can match the standard. 7. Protect your energy like a fortress. The rare man doesn't say yes to everyone. He doesn't let anyone disrupt his flow. His energy is his most valuable asset. He gives it carefully. He protects it ruthlessly. If someone drains him, distracts him, or disrespects him, he removes them. That kind of clarity doesn't make you lonely. It makes you powerful. Because the fewer people who have access to you, the more those who do feel lucky to be there. Becoming rare isn't about playing hard to get. It's about being hard to replace. Being unshakable isn't about being cold. It's about being complete. When you walk through life as a man who needs nothing from others to feel strong, you stop competing with boys. You stop trying to win hearts with tricks. You start attracting women with truth. And the woman who sees that, she won't just want you, she'll fight to keep you. If you've made it this far, you're not average. You're not a man content with being overlooked, ghosted, or discarded. You're not interested in surface-level games, short-term attention, or begging for validation. You're here because you're ready to lead with depth. You're here because you're done chasing and ready to build presence. And now you have the blueprint. You've learned how legacy is built, not through effort, but through unforgettable moments. You've learned how to call her bluff, to stop reacting and start commanding. You've learned to reverse the validation loop so she seeks your approval instead. You've mastered strategic ambiguity, using mystery to amplify desire. And most importantly, you've seen what it means to become rare and unshakable. The final destination in a woman's life. Not just another stop along the way. This isn't just advice. This is a code. And if you start applying even one of these principles, your energy will shift. People will feel it. Women will notice it. And most of all, you'll start respecting yourself at levels you never have before. You'll no longer be the man chasing attention. You'll be the man commanding it. But this movement is bigger than one man. So if this video gave you clarity, power, or a single insight that made you stop and think, support the channel. Because when you like, subscribe, and share this message, you're not just helping me. You're helping make these tools accessible to every man who needs them. Every man who's tired of being used. Every man who's ready to change his life. Your support fuels the mission. Now go apply what you've learned. Stand tall, speak less, mean more. And when she finally realizes she can't control you, she'll do everything she can to keep you. Drop unstoppable in the comments if you watched or read until the end. I want to know who the real ones are. You're not here for games. You're here to grow. Let's keep building together. Subscribe now and turn on notifications for weekly tactics that take you to the next level. You're not average. You're not meant to beg. You are the prize. Start living like it.